Before we get started, do me a favor and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it. Welcome to video number 4 with LT Fly, and take it away, LT.
Good morning, Teddy. It's good to speak with you again. I'm looking forward to sharing what I've been learning and get people educated on what's going on with the liquidity pool, T-bill, T-fuel. So how are you doing there today? How are things in your area?
It's a beautiful day. It's about 60 degrees here in Northwest Florida. And you're still in Tucson, aren't you?
Yep, still down in Tucson. Be here for a few more days. The weather's changed a bit for us. My wife we were out walking last night. It was clear and beautiful. And she said, "It's going to rain tomorrow." And I said, what do you mean it's going to rain? It's not going to rain. What are you talking about? It's only 9% chance. And she goes, "It's going to rain." Well, this morning, it started raining. And right now, as I look out the window, it's raining. So it's an overcast but rainy morning this morning. But it's going to clear off.
Is she part Indian rainmaker?
She is.
Doing a rainmaker dance or something?
That's what I told her. She is actually part Indian.
Is she?
And Native American, I guess we should say. And I said, "What are you doing, a rain dance or something?" She goes, "No, but it's going to rain." I said, "Okay." So she was right. So
Yeah.
I don't usually confide in her for my weather predictions, but she did pretty good on this one.
Yeah, it's amazing sometimes some of the things our wives tell us that come out eerily true.
Yeah. Well, you probably should listen to them more than we do. So.
Oh, absolutely. My wife would agree with that too.
Right. So we mentioned in our last video, I guess we should get off of that and on to what's going on here. We're getting in trouble pretty soon. So, but we said in our last video that we should build the use case for what T-bill is used for, other than just swapping back and forth with T-fuel and trying to make an interest rate or APR on that. So I've been checking into or working on, okay, what's the use case for T-bill? And there's actually quite a bit. It's very exciting, actually. The first thing that the G-Pool team did was build the gpool.io. And everybody should go to their computer if they're at their computer and pull up a website. That website is gworld.app, GWORLD.app. And gworld.app is basically their roadmap. It shows the things that they're working on, that they're speaking about. I know that there are other things they're working on because I found it in some research on the medium.com website. But these things that they're working on to put out in the G-Pool family. So if you go to gworld app, pull that up and go to the bottom of the page there, you'll see a diagram and you'll see where they started at the gpool.io site and the staking of Theta, T-fuel, XPRT, which is a persistence, which is another coin that they're involved with, and now T-pool, T-bill. Okay, so we can see where gpool.io, they started with the staking of Theta, T-fuel, XPRT, and the building of the T-bill coin itself, Theta Swap website, and getting that going. And so that was the next thing they did, was the tbill.io, which is going to be the coin used. It's a rebasing coin. It'll be used in the metaverse as a liquidity token, and it's going to be used for LP staking. And the other thing they've already worked on, I already got it going as well, is a TNT 2020 token bridge, bringing assets to many different metaverses. The Theta Swap site, which is a mirror of the thetaswap.sc website, and smart pools using smart contracts. So these are the things they've already accomplished, and are improving on as we speak, the things that they're going to work on next. And if you think about why they've done it in this order, it makes perfect sense. That is, you need a liquidity pool. You need a pool of tokens, that is T-bill and T-fuel. And why T-fuel? It's because T-fuel is the token that's used as the currency for Theta on the Theta blockchain. And so we start with that one because that's how that's where the G-Pool, G-World, all these different functions that they have, that's where they're going to operate, is on the Theta blockchain. So if you're operating on the Theta blockchain, that's going to require the Theta currency token, which is T-Fuel. And then whenever you're in the applications that are G-Pool's applications that they built, you'll be using the T-bill token for transacting. That'll be the currency inside their applications. And so you need this pool of tokens to be able to go from one to the other. And so it makes perfect sense that you would create this pool, get it out there, get it fun to get liquidity into this pool, so that you now have the ability to, for newcomers, people coming into the system that want to use one of these other applications, will have the means of which to get the token, the currency needed for that application. And then what we're going to talk about, these next few things, it's all going to require T-bill to operate inside that application for doing the things you want to do in there. So T-bill is the currency for the G-Pool, G-World, the wallet, the G-Twin. So T-bill is going to be used in these things. So we can discuss each of these separately. Now, I'm not sure in what order all these are going to come out, or if they'll all be released at the same time. So I'm just going to start with the G-World app, as I think this one is one that's going to drive a lot of T-bill use case, is here on the G-World app. So if you're looking at this picture on gworld.app, you'll see this app, and it's G-World app, and it's the metaverse, and it's actually the first metaverse that's built on top of the Theta nodes. And so the Theta nodes and the Theta system will be running the G-World metaverse, and so people will be earning T-fuel if they're running nodes. And so this drives the use case for T-fuel. But whenever you're inside the G-World app and you want to buy land, or you're setting up storefront, or you're doing the different things that the G-World metaverse is going to allow you to do, you'll need T-bill. And so it drives the use case for T-bill. And as we know, this metaverse is and the whole concept of a metaverse is something that's brand new. You know, we've even had one of the largest companies in the U.S., Facebook, has changed their name, their official company name, to Meta. And they are going strong and heavy into the metaverse.
Yeah,
so
it's funny that they're trying to make out, if you watch their ads, they're trying to make out like they invented the metaverse, and
sure,
the metaverse has actually preceded them for 4 or 5 years at least.
At least, yes. and the thing to keep in mind is that Theta was directly involved with that. Theta worked hand in hand with Sony in developing the virtual reality goggles and how to get that system going. So Mitch Liu and Jay Long, they have been directly involved with developing the equipment needed, not just the software or programming needed to make this run. And so whenever you stop and think about what you're getting into something that's brand new, it's at least brand new to us, but with people who have been doing it from the beginning. So it's no surprise that Sony is a validator node, because Sony knows where this is going, and so does Theta, because they've been working on this. They've been planning on this for quite some time. I see the G-Pool team, DGuard, and his team seeing a need, and he was able to foresee the need to have a different token set up. He was seeing the need to have a liquidity pool. He was seeing the need, okay, if I'm going to build a metaverse that's going to work on this Theta blockchain, I'm going to need these things. And he laid out a plan. You can, I mean, I haven't spoke to him personally myself, but just in hearing his interviews and reading the information, I'm seeing this roadmap unfold. And they had a plan, they put it in place, and we are well down the road, but still just getting started on this road. So it's a great opportunity for those that can think a little ahead and think about what's coming up, and do you want to be involved in that? So this G World app is going to be the metaverse built on the Theta blockchain using the Theta edge nodes. So it's going to drive use case for T-Fuel, and it's going to drive use case for T-Bill. Now, I have heard DGuard in an interview, he said this next thing, which is the gtwin.io, the gTwin is going to be released at the same time that the G World app is going to be released as far as the metaverse. And that's because you're going to have the opportunity to go into this gTwin and mint an NFT. Well, this particular NFT is going to be an NFT that is a representation of yourself. I'd like to make mine a little nicer than myself. I probably will whenever I get to that point, maybe a few pounds lighter. But but the gTwin is going to be a representation of yourself, and you're going to be able to this gTwin is going to be a avatar.
Right.
That's going to be able to be taken from one metaverse to another.
And by the way,
so,
for those that have not seen the gTwin, if you watch the interview with Big Dog and DGuard, they are using their gTwins. On the left hand side is the gTwin for DGuard, and on the right was the gTwin for Big Dog. And if you watch it, it's kind of funny because they did that interview at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and poor Big Dog was fighting to stay awake, and you could see it in the avatar.
Right. And so right now we're doing this interview just on audio because neither one of us want to be visually on the screen. I've got a face for radio, so that's okay. And
yeah,
so
you and me both.
But if this was already existing, we could be doing this using our avatars that we develop.
Yes, and eventually we'll probably be doing that, but not today.
Right. So that's something to look forward to. But besides just developing a gTwin place, say storefront where you can go and build this gTwin of yourself, and the other aspect of this is he's pledged to keep the cost of doing this very low. But he's also building the ability for somebody that wants to have their own storefront, that they could come in and use the G-Pools code to start their own storefront. So somebody that say has an eye for design, that likes to design clothing or shoes or jewelry or hats or whatever, you're going to be able to design this stuff and create your own storefront. Can you imagine a storefront that's got some of the big name retail or fashion people in it?
Now,
they're going to build
about a storefront within G World.
Correct. So that if you wanted to be wearing some, I have no idea who's going to do this, but let's say Gucci decided that they're going to have their own storefront, so you could go into the Gucci store and buy for your avatar a Gucci purse or clutch or whatever it is Gucci makes or sells, or take a fashion, clothing fashion, where somebody could go in and say, oh, well, that's the Versace, I want the Versace, or I want, and they can go in, and I'm sure there'll be new people that come along that will develop their own product lines that will then become popular. And if they become popular, they will probably sell a lot of it. And so there's other jobs that are going to be created here for people that have that eye to design, the eye fashion, or the eye for design. And then they put together a team to have a storefront to build the products that will be sold for your avatar to use. You wouldn't want to wear the same clothes going to a concert that you wore going to your job. And so you might want to have different sets of clothing for your avatar, different types of shoes or hats or other accessories. So if you think about your normal activities that you do day to day, you would dress or make yourself appear different from activity to activities. And so they're going to do the same kind of thing for the avatars. And so there will be a design studio, there'll be storefronts, there's going to be a meme factory so that memes can be produced. So it's and it's not all G-World driven. They're going to build the backside of it so that somebody else can come in and be that designer and have that storefront. And so that all is going to be using P-Bill to do these things.
So bottom line is people's vanity will be on full display within G-World.
Yes, or because that avatar, and so that brings us to this next thing, which I think is even more exciting than the G-World or the G-Twin. And, you know, I don't play games. I'm not into the metaverse. I'm sure there's a lot of listeners right now going, yeah, neither am I. You know, how's this going to drive? You know, because we're not interested in it, we don't see the potential of it. However, you know, the different metaverses out there are just blowing up, you know, getting huge, because there are those people that are gamers or love being in a metaverse. And I think that we'll actually start doing business in a different way, that the metaverses would be a great way to sell real estate, or you know, a realty company, you know, Century 21 or whoever could have a storefront in the metaverse that where they link all their videos, and they can do 3D videos. So they could walk through a house or a property, that kind of thing, that if I'm interested in it, but I live, you know, across the country or around the world from it, I can go look at that and then talk to a realtor and say, hey, how do I come see it in person? So it's a way to sell things without the person having to be there. Or, you know, if I'm wanting to see it before I go through the trouble or expense to travel there to see it in person.
So basically what you're saying is they will be able to go into a realtor that is within the G-World and talk to them about a 3D walkthrough of a piece of land that is in the real world.
Right.
And then they will be able to transact with that realtor in G-World about that real world piece of real estate. That's pretty cool.
Right. And then, I mean, this is just something I've thought of. I've heard others mention this kind of thing. So, of course, in that metaverse, we'll be seeing each other's avatars.
Right.
So again, this is where you're going to build your avatar, and then you might go buy particular clothing to represent yourself in a certain way as you're in the metaverse. And then, of course, at some point you go and take a look at this in reality. And I'm sure there are many, many other things that this metaverse is going to be very, very good for applying to
Right.
our everyday life.
A,
So,
a little analogy for people
mhm.
regarding T-bill. Think of it in terms of if you go to, let's say, Germany, you have to swap your currency from whatever country you're from for the currency that they use in Germany, and then when you come back home, you swap whatever currency you have left from Germany back into your own. Well, the T-bill's the same way. When you go into the metaverse, you have to swap your real world currency for the currency of the metaverse, which in this case is T-bill. And then, when you leave, you can swap what you've got left back, but it's the same kind of thing. It's just currency exchange one for another.
Well, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's a very good point, because that is the next thing that we were going to talk about, and that DGuard and the G-Pool team is working on a wallet, and they call it the GTX.io wallet. And this G-Twin that you build is going to be global. It's going to be able to be transported to other metaverses or used in other applications like we just spoke about. We could have the camera on our computer on, and it's going to be the camera will be picking up our movements, our actions, our facial expressions, but the avatar that's on the screen will be displaying what we're doing. And that is a great video. Go watch. It's about 2.5 hours long. The DGuard Big Dog interview, November 27th was the date it came out, and it was about 2 in the morning, like you said, of Thanksgiving night. So what kind of condition were you in at 2 a.m. Thanksgiving night?
I was sleeping.
Exactly.
And if you watch that video, so was Big Dog for part of it.
That's right. and so it's a good thing and a bad thing. We could see that Big Dog was having a hard time staying, but I thought actually he did a pretty good job. He'd come to right at the right time to ask an appropriate question or to give follow-up. So
it was a good interview,
anyway,
but it was also entertaining if you paid attention to the his G-Twin.
That's right. It was his G-Twin, and they say that in the interview. His G-Twin was actually the first G-Twin ever minted.
Yes.
Big Dog's was.
And DGuard has offered to do a G-Twin for me, and as a matter of fact, he graciously offered to fly down to where I'm at and handle getting it installed on my computer and set up and everything, which I thought that was awesome that he would be willing to do that.
Well, let me know when you set that up with him, because I want to be there as well. I would love to meet this person, but I want to set up my G-Twin as well. So anyway, that is the next thing that they're. Like I said, I don't know what order they're doing this stuff in, but this wallet is going to be incredible. It's going to be the wallet, which the G-Twin itself is an NFT. It's a non-fungible token. How all that works, I don't know. It's a magic, but it is a non-fungible token. So you're going to be able to move this from one metaverse to another, or utilize it on your computer screen as a representation of yourself if you're doing some type of video conferencing, that kind of thing. What all it's going to be able to do is still a mystery to me. I have outlined this wallet and given a few things it's going to be able to do. That G-Twin is going to be global. It's going to be able to be go basically anywhere. They're going to have a visual NFT list. Exactly what that is, I don't know. I guess you're going to be able to basically, sounds to me like it's going to be your own storefront. So you could have NFTs in your wallet that you could have listed out visually so somebody could see what you have if you were trying to sell it. Maybe you could transact directly with somebody instead of having to go through another provider such as OpenTheta or Theta.
So right within the G World metaverse, you will be able to buy and sell certain NFTs that
Right.
represent pieces of clothing, as an example.
Right.
And you'll be able to do that right within the metaverse.
Right. So you bought something for your G Twin, you went to that concert, and you don't ever want to be seen in that again, right? So you can sell it. You can turn around and sell it, and then recoup some of, it's just the same thing we do with clothes and that kind of thing in the real world. So that you're going to be able to do that within this wallet. It's going to have an aspect called AquaPay, and AquaPay is whenever it gives you interoperability with other chains. Right now, we need these bridges to take, say, Theta token. If we want to go across a bridge into Ethereum, we have to do a wrap procedure of the token and go across that bridge, and then be able to use that Theta token in another chain. So this LiquidPay is going to give you that ability. It's basically a bridge function that will be able to take your payment, whatever it is you have, and be able to use that in other applications or other places where they require something different. So it's whenever you're sending payment out, you use this LiquidPay, and it will then transform what you have to what they require. Like you were saying, if you have U.S. dollars, you can go to Germany. Well, you got to swap that for euros to be able to spend that in Germany. And then whenever you come back to the U.S., you would have to swap back. Well, same kind of thing. So they have another thing. It's called hard pass. So whenever you're bringing payment for something into your wallet, you can, somebody has Ethereum and they're trying to pay you, but you don't want Ethereum, you want T-Fuel or T-Bill. You can do a hard pass, and what it'll do then is swap that Ethereum into what you want. And so as things come back into your wallet, you can have it just effortlessly put into the currency that you want to be in. It makes things much easier to transact. I'm sure everybody's having this sort of a fight right now with their computer. And so what I got to do? I got to swap this many T-Fuel for this many T-Bill, and then I got to take, it's just the confusion of it all. This wallet is going to alleviate that confusion.
And this wallet that you're referring to is going to be a product of Gpool.
Correct, which is within the Gpool system. So that's, again, what's the Gpool currency? T-bill. So that's pretty big. That's pretty big.
Yeah, and it's my understanding that they're also working on a version of MetaMask that's going to be better than MetaMask.
Yes.
So I'll be excited for that to come out.
Right. There are ways that you're able to take because most of these cryptocurrencies and these projects out there are open source. Like Theta is open source. Anybody that wants to build on a Theta blockchain can go get the Theta code and then incorporate that into what they're building. So the open source aspect of this means that there are legal and legitimate ways to go get somebody's code and then improve upon it. So T-bill itself, or Theta Cash, is the open code of Ampleforth. So Ampleforth developed this code in 2018, put it out in 2019. DeGard and his team got that code and improved upon it. Ampleforth decided certain things should be done in certain ways, and so they set up their program or their coin in certain ways, and DeGard's decided, no, we can do this differently. And they're using that same code, but they're changed the way it works and
right.
how it.
They forked the code from Ampleforth.
Right.
So that was their starting point, and then they started tweaking on it to make it their own.
And so he's doing the same with the G World or the GTX wallet, it's a fork of MetaMask. So we all know how, at this point we're becoming very familiar about how MetaMask works. We of course didn't know until we got started, but because it's what we use in doing this staking process through MetaMask, we're learning how MetaMask works. So whenever they put out this wallet, which is going to be improved, then that's going to be, people already know, oh, okay, yeah, I understand this. Okay, yeah, I know that. And so we're going to see people very quickly swap over from using MetaMask to using the Gpool wallet, I believe, which again is going to drive use case and T-bill adoption.
Yeah.
Which
I
in
can't wait
return,
for it to come out, because
I know.
I mistakenly assumed that if MetaMask supported T-Fuel, that it also supported Theta, and so I sent 170 Theta to the wallet, and it's sitting out there in the wallet, but unfortunately the MetaMask does not support it, so I can't do anything with it until Gpool comes out with their wallet, which will support Theta as well as T-Fuel.
Correct. And there's other little things that they've done that, in the MetaMask wallet. You need to make sure, at the very top of the wallet there, it tells you what network you're in, whether you're in the Ethereum network or the Theta network. And so you need to make sure you're in the correct network before you go sending something out. Otherwise, it can be gone forever. And so he's doing little things, just like changing the color of that block up there, so that if you're in say the Theta network, it's going to be one color, and if you're in the Ethereum network, that'll be another. So just very quickly and easily, it's not a big thing, but it's a thing. And so very quickly and easily, you're going to be able to see, hey, I'm in the right wallet. This is I'm on the right blockchain.
Yeah.
And because we don't want coins going off to another blockchain that you can't get back now, or you got to fill out a help ticket, and you got to go through the process of getting that coin back. In some cases, you can't get them back. So just operations within the wallet are going to be improved upon. Again, this is where being second or third into the space is actually a good thing, because you can see where the limitations are, or where the improvements need to be made, and then you can make those improvements.
Do we have an approximate release date for the wallet that they're talking about?
No. I said I have no idea when these things are going to be released. I do know they're working on them. They speak of it in the Discord, that coming soon kind of thing, but nobody wants to throw a date out there, because then you got a deadline. So
yeah,
I would say it's going to be best for them to make sure they're doing their internal checks and reviews, making sure that they're got things set up. At least as
we software developer, someone else once said this, and I thought it was perfect. She was a woman, and she said, yeah, she said, I love the sound a deadline makes as it goes whooshing by.
Right. And so we saw this happen with Theta last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, in March, mainnet 3.0 is coming out, where everybody's sitting there just waiting for March to come along, and the price goes up and goes up and goes up, and then they change the date.
Yeah.
to the end,
and upset a lot of people.
You upset a lot of people. You hear this big, whooshing sound of all the funds going out of the wallets, getting out of Theta, and the price goes falling down. And so it's better, I believe it's better to, let's make sure we got this right. I believe that's what the team is doing, and they keep saying it's coming.
Yep.
So we'll see. Whenever it happens, it happens. To finish up with this wallet, just a couple more things, which I think are really good. They're going to have a user. You're going to be able to basically set up an email kind of service. I have very sketchy, very limited information on this, but you'll have a username at GTX which is actually an NFT. So you're going to be able to have information passed back and forth. So when I was here, and I say, this is like an email service. It's, but if it's, I don't know if it's going to, it'd have to be on the blockchain. Then everybody's going to be able to read your email. So I'm not sure what's up with that, but that sounds like it has promise to it. And then push invoicing. Like, what does push invoicing? There are going to be some business aspects to it that you would be able to use it in taking care of maybe some small business that you're running or doing. Right now I've got a fella who comes and does some yard work around, and whenever we pay him in Cash App, because that's how he wants to be paid. We had to download the Cash App and set it up so we could pay him, because that's how he wants to be paid. So I'm assuming it's going to be something similar to that it's going to be a way that somebody that's running some business can say, hey, I'll pay me on, send me income to this wallet.
Yeah.
Because you can invoice.
Yeah.
So there's more use case. Every time a transaction takes place, there's going to be a fee. And as liquidity pool providers, we get that fee. So it creates use case for T-bill itself, and it creates income for the pool in the form of fees. They're going to have inside this wallet be a secondary NFT market. So you can earn governance token with T-bill within this wallet, and you can earn T-drop with T-fuel in this wallet. So if you wanted to buy an NFT that's in this wallet, you would purchase that NFT and you would earn T-drop. Purchase it with T-fuel, and by doing so, you earn T-drop. And just this morning, I was looking at CoinGecko, and T-drop is up 16%. So, hey,
that was like
bonus.
4.8 cents or something like that.
Right.
But, just so let's we'll close this one out, and
Sure.
I appreciate you sharing all this information with us, and I'm sure everybody else appreciates it too. This recording is a little longer than the previous ones, but that's the way it is sometimes. So
well, there's just a lot of information here, and that's why I said go to this page, gworld.app, and you can see all these things listed there, and review that. And it's just exciting whenever I see it to think about what's coming, and it's going to be driving the use case for T-bill, which then drives the need for T-fuel, which then drives up the price, if you will, for both. And so for folks that are in liquidity pool, you get to take advantage of that. So
yeah,
it's been my pleasure in bringing this.
well, that's a wrap for this presentation. So cue the music. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that thumbs up for me, and I'll see you in the next video.